Have you ever heard of a race of giants that roamed the ancient world? Tales of towering, superhuman beings who challenged the natural order and left an indelible mark on human civilization. If so, then you're likely familiar with the mysterious Nephilim, a subject that has captivated scholars, historians, and the public imagination for centuries. But who were these Nephilim, and what was the true nature of their enigmatic bloodlines? Were they literal giants, as some ancient texts suggest, or were they something more supernatural? In this captivating video, we're going to delve deep into the shadowy world of the Nephilim, uncovering the subtle connections and the profound impact they've had on the course of human history. We'll begin our journey by examining one of the most prominent Nephilim bloodlines, that of the Amorites. These powerful people emerged as a dominant force in the ancient Near East, challenging the established order and posing a formidable threat to the Israelites as they sought to settle in the promised land of Canaan. According to the biblical accounts, the Amorites were a people of great stature and strength, likened to the height of the cedars. As the Israelites prepared to enter Canaan, they encountered these giants, including the infamous King Og of Bashan, who reigned over a kingdom of 60 cities. The narrative in the book of Deuteronomy describes the Israelites' awe at the sight of these imposing figures, feeling like mere grasshoppers in comparison. The Amorites had established themselves throughout the region, and their influence extended into the Mesopotamian civilizations as well. In fact, the last days of the third dynasty of Ur saw the Amorites become such a dominant force that the kings constructed a 170-mile wall from the Tigris to the Euphrates to hold them off. However, this defensive measure proved futile, as the Amorites continued to encroach upon the established kingdoms, bringing with them a wave of what can only be described as demonic hordes. This interaction between the Israelites and the Amorite giants is a fascinating glimpse into the complex dynamics at play in the ancient Near East. The Amorites, with their Nephilim-like stature and strength, represented a formidable challenge to the Israelites' conquest of Canaan, and their legacy continues to captivate our imaginations. To better understand the Nephilim bloodlines and their impact, we turn to the ancient Ugaritic texts, which provide a wealth of insight into the religious and cultural practices of the region. These texts mention the presence of the Reim, a class of Nephilim entities, and reveal the intricate rituals and beliefs surrounding their veneration. Moving on, we find another intriguing chapter in the story of the Nephilim bloodlines, the biblical account of the Battle of the Nine Kings in Genesis 14. This passage describes a league of kings, including Amraphel, often associated with Nimrod, and Tidal, the king of nations, who engaged in a fierce battle against a host of strange and enigmatic creatures. Among these entities were the Rephaim, the Zuzim, the Emim, and the Horites, all of which are described in terms that suggest a demonic or supernatural origin. The Rephaim, in particular, are said to have been divided into three classes: the Lama, who were entirely divine; the Udo, who were 2/3 divine and 1/3 human; and the Ugal, who were 1/3 divine and tasked with overseeing the abyss. The sheer complexity and diversity of these Nephilim-associated creatures paint a vivid picture of the supernatural forces that were at play in the ancient world. Their involvement in the conflicts of the time highlights the high-stakes battle for control over the region, with the Nephilim bloodlines wielding immense power and influence. Now, let's turn our attention to another branch of the Nephilim bloodlines, the Anakim. As the Israelites continued their conquest of Canaan, they encountered these men with necklaces, as they were known, who were described as giants of immense stature, striking fear into the hearts of the Israelite spies who reported back to Moses. The Anakim were not only found in the southern regions of Canaan, but were also said to have spread throughout the mountainous areas of the land. Interestingly, the name Anakim is believed to be derived from a Hebrew root meaning necklace, suggesting a connection to the distinctive metal neck rings worn by these enigmatic beings. Furthermore, the Ugaritic texts mention a figure known as Shashi, whose name appears to be strikingly similar to that of one of the Anakim leaders. This connection between the Anakim and the Hyksos kings of Egypt adds another layer of complexity to the Nephilim bloodlines, hinting at their far-reaching influence across the ancient world. Now, let's shift our focus to the intriguing connections between the Nephilim bloodlines and the mythological traditions of the Celtic world. As we delve into the legends of the Tuatha de Danan, we find striking parallels that suggest a deeper, more far-reaching influence of these enigmatic beings. The Tuatha de Danan are described in Irish mythology as a legendary race of beings possessing superhuman abilities and residing in otherworldly realms, often within prominent mounds or hills. These fairy folk were believed to have been driven out of their earthly kingdoms by the arrival of the Milesians, a parallel that bears resemblance to the biblical account of the Israelites' conquest of Canaan. Interestingly, the Tuatha de Danan were also associated with the Banshee, a female spirit whose wailing was said to be a portent of death. This creature bears a striking resemblance to the unearthly entities mentioned in the Ugaritic texts and the biblical accounts, further strengthening the connections between the Nephilim bloodlines and the mythological traditions of the Celtic world. As our exploration of the Nephilim bloodlines continues, we uncover yet another fascinating avenue of investigation: the potential connections to the legacy of the Knights Templar. These medieval crusaders were believed to have been custodians of ancient secrets, and their explorations and activities in the Middle East have been the subject of much speculation and debate. One particularly intriguing aspect is the Templars' alleged connection to the vast treasures of King Solomon, whose reign coincided with the height of the Phoenician civilization. According to some scholars, the Templars may have uncovered evidence of extensive mining operations in the Americas, which could have been the source of the gold and other precious metals that contributed to Solomon's legendary wealth. This connection between the Nephilim bloodlines, the Phoenician civilizations, and the Templar activities in the Holy Land adds another layer of complexity to our understanding of the ancient world. It suggests that the Nephilim legacy may have extended far beyond the boundaries of the Mediterranean, reaching across the oceans and influencing the course of human history in ways that are only now beginning to be fully appreciated. As we wrap up our exploration of the Nephilim bloodlines, it's important to acknowledge the potential genetic implications that these ancient lineages may have had on the modern human population. While the idea of Nephilim genetics can be a sensitive and controversial topic, it's worth considering the possible ramifications of these intermingled bloodlines. It's important to note that the concept of Nephilim genetics should not be used to promote any kind of racial or ethnic superiority. Instead, we should approach this topic with an open mind and a desire to understand the broader historical and cultural contexts that shaped these ancient civilizations. Ultimately, the legacy of the Nephilim bloodlines serves as a powerful reminder of the complex and multifaceted nature of human history. By delving into these ancient mysteries, we gain a deeper appreciation for the rich tapestry of human civilization and the enduring influence of the supernatural realm on the affairs of humankind. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.